welcome to another episode of Picture Shows and Petticoats. I am Elizabeth. I blog at elizabethmichelle.com, and you can find me on Twitter at elizabethmel.
And I'm Jennifer White. I blog at inwhichiblog.com and at Jennifer White on Twitter. We're so glad you joined us again. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Downton Abbey Series 4, Episode 5 this week. So, great episode overall.
Really good episode.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some forward movement, some progress with all of our stories, really, all of the little subplots going on.
Lots happening.
Yes.
So, let's just start at the beginning.
Okay.
With Daisy bringing in all the toast, and she is very happy because Alfred is staying.
A toast to Alfred. Did you get that?
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
That's funny. So, she's happy and everything, and I was really hoping that, excuse me while I detach my tea ball.
We're having a raspberry tea today?
Yes, it is Raspberry Patch Adagio tea. And this is courtesy of my lovely friend Jolene, who subscribed me to the tea of the Every Other Month Club, like last year before last for my birthday. And it has been the best gift ever. Love it. I love tea. We have to come back to tea later on. So, I guess we'll just go ahead with the rest of this. You know, we find out later on that he is accepted at the Ritz. He was number 5. And so he does end up leaving, which is really sad because...
Poor Daisy.
Poor Daisy. And I have to say, I'm glad he was honest with her. I'm glad he, you know, whenever he was leaving, went to her and said, you know, you're going to make somebody to find wife someday, but it was never going to be me. That's just so... But I'm glad that he was, you know, he just came right out and said it to her.
Right.
It's better than to wonder.
Right. And Daisy was a really big person. I mean, she didn't let that make her bitter. She wished him well and told him good luck.
And I think, you know, she's sincere. She is sincere. She's nothing but sincere. I don't think that girl can be anything except for 100% honest. And with that, I was really happy at how she just let Ivy have it.
She did, and Mrs. Hughes and Mrs. Patmore agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Hughes said, Ivy, you had this coming.
Mm-hmm. The whole time.
Yeah.
Because all she does is... I'm trying to figure out how to say this without it sounding like some kind of weird victim-blaming thing here at the end, because more happens.
Right.
Ivy does lead guys on, but that is not...
Right, it's no excuse.
It's no
for
excuse.
What James did. Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, it's like Mrs. Patmore and Mrs. Hughes when they were sitting down there. I guess Daisy was in the room, too.
Mm-hmm.
After James...
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's when it happened.
Yes. I mean, they obviously cared very much about what happened to her, and they wanted to make sure she hadn't been hurt.
Right.
But...
Well, after everything that went on with Anna, I think...
Right.
Mrs. Hughes is probably extra
sensitive.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do you tell somebody, look, you know, there's might be a little way to prevent that sort of thing from happening if you might not...
See, that's touchy.
Behave a certain way. So the fact that Daisy spoke up, I think that probably made it a little easier.
Mm-hmm. Well, and since we're on it, I guess we can go ahead and talk about it. They're going to, Ivy and Jimmy, do we call him James?
Jimmy John James.
Whatever.
James.
They're going to see a Rudolph Valentino movie.
Rudolph Valentino.
Did they say which film it was?
He did, but I don't
remember it now. But Mrs. Patmore's really into that guy. What did she say? He makes her shiver all over, and Mr. Carson finds this disturbing. Oh,
poor Carson.
Yeah, poor guy. His sensibilities have been really.
He has a rough
shaken.
episode. He has a rough night or week or whatever length of time this is. He's having a hard time.
Yes, he is. So they went to go see this movie, and then on the way back, Jimmy gets a little handsy on the park bench out there
with the sighting.
Like, what is it that he said? He's like, I took you to a movie.
Yeah, you owe me.
I like, and he lists off all this stuff about how I've never been so nice to a girl before. Like, oh, Jimmy.
What's wrong with him? I mean, even Thomas sacrificed part of himself to help James previously in previous seasons. Even Thomas. And the fact that James just can't...
But hey, Thomas thought there might be something in for... Maybe he was being nice for the same reason that Jimmy was being nice. I think that's what it was.
Oh my. I don't know.
I think that was...
I just wanted to slap him. James was just...
He's something.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody this season is like... They have one goal in mind, apparently.
Right. Well, you know, and I almost wonder, the situation with Anna, if it had been a public thing, would, you know, and people had been more sensitive to that, would James have learned something from that? So obviously he doesn't know that's going on. But
yeah, but everybody knows that happens.
He's so entitled.
I think it's
a good guy.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good picture of maybe like what was just accepted behavior amongst some people at the time. Because there are some girls who probably would have thought,
right,
he did take me to a movie, he did take me to dinner, okay. Bartering system.
Yeah, well, those girls don't last very long around the Abbey.
No, they don't.
Thankfully.
So that was good. I'm glad she put him in this place. That's all said and done.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I loved the quotes from their little conversation. Ivy said, "I thought he was so nice," and Mrs. Patmore said, "Wonder how many women have said that since the Northern Conquest." That was pretty awesome.
Oh, okay. So I mentioned earlier, I wanted to remember to say this. Near the beginning, whenever Mary and Anna are having the conversation when Mary's getting ready for bed.
Yes.
I thought the way that Mary broached the subject and said, you know, well, clearly you're not going to tell me what it was about.
Right.
I thought it was so much like her dad. I thought the whole conversation was just exactly like how her dad would have handled it with Bates. You know, like, I don't know. It just, they seem so alike. And it made me think of something else. Because I've been seeing the trailer for Winter's Tale on TV a lot. And in one of the trailers, it's a voiceover of, I can't think of the actress's name, but that played Sybil. And what she's reading it could be mistaken for Cora, like 100%. And I was just thinking, I think they cast those girls really well as their daughters, because it makes sense. And even though Edith, there's really nothing about her that strikes me as being like one parent or the other. I mean, you know, everybody's got the middle child, but
she might be more like Rosamund or something.
Maybe so. I don't think Rosamund would want you to say that, though.
Not this episode, anyway.
No. So, Mary knows that things are settled, or kind of settled, a little bit settled.
Anna's back in the cottage. That's all we know.
Hey, that's better than...
Right, than not in the cottage.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. But man, I sure wish Mary knew, and I wish Lord Grantham knew, and I'm still chomping at the bit for when they're going to find out, because I think if the two of them, if Mary and Lord Grantham knew what had happened to Anna...
Oh, they'd take care of business.
They would turn over every stone in England to get that guy squished.
I agree.
And you know, and I actually kind of thought, I mean, I know you don't want to bring shame and disgrace to the house or to the Earl and all of that, but I know that I think it's been made pretty clear that there are ways of doing things that don't always necessarily involve the law. So
I like how you think.
You know, we accidentally had this mishap with the horse, or somebody, I don't know.
He got run through with a pitchfork.
Yes, he was on his way to Ireland and he accidentally fell off the boat.
Yeah.
You know, Irish sea's a little cold, right?
Sure it is.
So.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I like it.
I'm feeling devious.
I like it.
Especially where he goes.
Napier and Blake. They're coming to the house.
Evelyn. I love his name. It's a girl's name, but it's okay.
But it's a boy's name over there. And we say it Evelyn here too, right?
True.
Yeah.
But if we were in Great Britain, we would say
I'm sure we
Evelyn.
would say Evelyn.
But it's cool. Oh my god, they were so much fun though. I can't wait to see what happens with them. She hates Blake.
But you know what?
She
It's the kind
him.
of mutual hate that where you end up in love with each other. I think that's what's happening here. You know, we've talked about this before, grasshopper guts and all that business.
Yes, I just don't want to see the War of the Roses. That's just so old, so bothersome and wearisome. It's like I want her to have somebody who challenges her intellectually, but he is like, no. I'd rather they be arch enemies for life, like Granny and Isabel, you know, where they sort of fuel each other. I prefer Gillingham.
Wow. Okay.
I prefer.
That's
Gillingham.
a big statement coming from me.
I know. I do like Napier though, because I feel like he's more of Matthew's temperament, and I feel like he's more. I think that he would challenge her too, but I think he's more reserved. Like the scene with him and Blake at the party, where Mary and Blake have done this, and then Napier steps back with Blake, and they both got drinks in their hands, and Blake says, "She's such a little so-and-so," and Napier says, "She thinks the same thing about you." You know, I think that he's got it going on. He knows how to manage his boss, and he knows how to manage Mary.
I just like couples where they constantly have like verbal sparring matches, where they don't agree about a lot of stuff. I don't know why. I like it. It keeps everything interesting when you don't agree.
He's Tom, but Mary's not Sybil.
Is he Tom?
Because he's a revolutionary. He thinks all the aristocrats should be burned at the stake. Burn their estates, please. Burn them down so that we can start fresh. That's what I'm getting from him.
That could be it. So we're going to see what happens. They're going to be around for a while. And
we do not expect him to be witty. We shall lower our expectations. But I love Mary's elbow gloves.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They come all the way up here. Why don't we have those?
I don't know why we don't bring that back.
Let's do it.
Let's maybe try that. Yeah. Okay.
We'll have a gloves episode.
Okay.
But we'll have to wait till it gets warmer.
Yeah.
It's 10 degrees today.
Really cold. Really cold today. And I'm burning Winter Wonderland. This is the candle that I have.
I love Yankee.
Yeah.
So good.
I think this is a retired one, so anytime I see it in the outlet, I grab it because it smells like vanilla and snow and wonderfulness. It's great. So, anyway, can't wait to see what happens there. Then we have small mention of something that I'm sure will develop into something else. Uncle Harold, Cora's brother.
Small mention? 3 times.
Well, okay, but I mean,
they mentioned it 3 times. Yeah, I think we're going to go with this storyline, so go ahead. Fill us in.
He's had some trouble with some oil leases.
And a senator or something, right?
Yeah, so I'm sure it's probably an investment thing and not actually that he's like a wildcatter in the middle of Oklahoma in 1920, whatever this is. But, interesting personal note, my great-grandfather was a wildcatter, like drilling oil wells. And if you don't know what that is, a wildcatter is basically someone who goes out and drills a well where I guess really you don't have any reason to believe that there would be oil there.
Right.
And so people would make investments and these guys would go out and just drill in the middle of wherever. It's like, hey, maybe there's some oil down there. And so my great-grandfather did that. And so right around the time that all this was going on. And so...
Okay.
Didn't
so
always
a lot of
pan
prospecting
out.
going.
Yeah, but there's a lot of money lost.
Right.
Around this time.
So maybe Uncle Harold is having a Lord Grantham crisis.
Kind of sounds like they may make the same sort of decisions, and I don't know if we really need to get the two of them together. And he probably is writing because he needs money, and they don't have any money to give him, and...
Or he wants a place to live.
Okay, so where's Cora from again? What state?
Well, I assume they're part of the New York socialites.
Well, I didn't know if it was like Rhode Island or Connecticut or something.
Well,
sometimes it's different.
They've got various properties, because didn't they say Martha, whoever her mother is, has a home in Newport? Okay. But that's one of her vacation properties, probably.
Okay. But I'm sure everybody had a house in New York.
She's probably a Manhattan socialite, I would assume.
So, maybe he'll show up. We'll see what's happening there.
Yes, I'm sure that we shall see more.
And all the while, Rose is planning a birthday party.
No, well, a surprise at the birthday party.
Yeah.
Even Cora doesn't know about.
Dangerous.
I knew once the character had been given a name, we would see him again. Mr. Ross.
I'm glad you remembered it because I forgot.
He has a great conversation with Carson and Alice. I mean, Alice. Did I say Alice? Mrs. Hughes is awesome in the kitchen. Mrs. Hughes says something like, Mr. Ross, I think you've uncovered a part of the past that Mr. Carson doesn't approve of. It's fabulous. I love it. But Mr. Ross is a ladies' man. Do you see him flirting with the other servants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably has to. Like with his job in the city, this guy's just bored with it.
Or maybe he has that job because
he's a good flirt.
Yeah.
Is this a British actor or is this an American actor? I mean, because he's got the American accent, right? Did he have a British accent? I didn't think he did. But it sounded like he was putting on a kind of transatlantic... You know what I'm saying? And no offense, but British people are pretty much, a lot of them, really terrible at American accents. We're equally as bad, but...
I can't do it.
You ever, watch any episodes of As Time Goes By? Like the one, the agent from out in Hollywood who comes out and visits them and goes, hey, Lionel, and talks like... no one's talked like that since, 1940 in a movie.
That's hilarious.
No. We don't talk like that.
I can't do British.
I won't even try.
I might be able to do, I call it gutter Brit. Like the...
I've watched enough EastEnders that it's really messed me up.
The not posh. I can do the not posh.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes. I can say strawberries. Strawberries.
Sometimes I accidentally say something like...
Apricot.
No. You can say apricot anyway.
Not here. Apricot, baby.
I say apricot sometimes. Sometimes it accident. I can't even say it right now. It's only on accident that it'll come out. If I've been watching too much TV, I'll say boot. Right. I don't talk. I say book. That's how I talk. Okay.
We're talking about Mr. Ross.
Anyway, Mr. Ross.
We don't know.
He's a charmer.
He's a charmer.
Charmed Rose right into the kitchen.
And how do we say goodbye at Downton Abbey?
That we kissed.
We kissed. Big time.
Let's bring that back too. Gloves and kissing goodbye.
Yeah. And Mary is 52 shades of appalled. She doesn't know what she's more upset by. The fact that Rose is...
she's
snogging on
Is anyone down here? Is anyone still awake?
Anyone? Bueller? That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But really and truly, I was sitting there going, Rose would have been in trouble. It didn't matter what color he was. Rose would have been in trouble for behaving like that.
Yeah, but I think, okay, I'm sorry, but I love everybody's faces every time the first time that everybody saw a black man in the house, everyone just...
Welcome to the 20s. Yeah. Hello, Crawley family.
Oh my goodness gracious. But then what the Dowager had to say whenever they all walked out to the party, and she what she says to Edith about,
yeah. Haven't you been in London?
Yeah, why don't you let your time there, rub off on you a little bit, stop acting like such a provincial whatever.
Do you think that they did that on purpose? Because in the event that Gregson is on the level and is in Germany,
okay,
and she goes there.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I don't know. Tell me what you're thinking here, because I had a thought about that. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Were you finished with your thought?
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying? Are you saying that maybe Edith's a racist?
Well...
Or has, some Nazi leanings to begin with?
Because that's not really like her. She's worked for a newspaper.
Oh, my goodness.
She's been...
Well, what if he is a little bit? Because some people were... there was a lot of just mainstream people who were a little bit...
Could be part of why he's disappeared, is he went off to go grab his uniform. But I don't know.
Oh, good grief.
But I just really didn't expect that of you, if that was just over the top for me, so...
No, that's exactly what I thought was, well, if she doesn't like black people, that's probably, Germany may be the place for her at that time. I don't know.
Is that part of why she was so offended by Mary spending the night with Mr. Pamuk was that he was Turkish or whatever?
Oh, what if it's all this stuff like bubbling to the surface? Edith is a white supremacist.
Oh my god.
Did you look at the googly eyed Edith thing that I sent you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, there's a Tumblr, and I think it's old news, I'm sure, but because I've seen some photos from it floating around.
We love
but
Tumblr.
We do. There's so many good things there. And it's basically where somebody has superimposed googly eyes over every photo of Edith ever. And it's perfect. It's really good.
It sounds good.
It makes sense.
I hope that's not her problem. I hope that she's just having hormones from being pregnant because we have confirmation that that's what this is. Maybe she's just completely distraught because this guy slept with her and took off. We don't know. What do you think?
She's got all these hormones right now.
They do.
Well, so let's talk about it. Whenever the letter, she gets the letter, she opens it up, and it was only a flash.
Oh, yeah.
You could hardly see it at all. And
yeah, not long enough.
I know, and I noticed a number of people, clearly couldn't see it because I saw a lot of tweets coming through, oh my goodness, does she have cancer? Things like that. So clearly a lot of folks didn't see it. But yes, she's pregnant. I had to pause it and read the whole thing. And yes, your symptoms, whatever, you seem to indicate
Pregnancy.
first trimester pregnancy. So that's happening. And her mom knows that something is wrong. And if I know anything about moms, it will not be any time before she figures out.
Morning sickness. How do you hide that?
Some people don't get it.
Okay.
I don't know.
That rosy glow.
No, that's what's going to be it, because women always know. Have you ever, just known somebody who's pregnant? Well, I don't want to say that exactly, but it is,
But then the other thing is, I don't know, she's changed in other ways because, she's no longer a virgin, but, so her eyes have been opened in other areas. I'm sorry. I'm just going here. But I just also felt, okay, so I did a little bit of volunteer work on the side for a nonprofit group that helped girls that were in trouble and stuff. And in the volunteer training,
I like that you just used, the 1950s term for that.
Oh, okay.
Girls in trouble.
Yeah. I was trying to be,
Yes, I understand.
period correct. So, yeah. But one of the things that, when the girls would come in and stuff, a lot of times they didn't know how you could get pregnant. They didn't know how that was even possible. Or the guy would tell them, well, you can't get pregnant if we do this. And so I think a lot of girls thought, and maybe Edith is one of those girls that thought, you have to do it a lot of times before you get pregnant. And so Edith, it only takes one time. One time. That's all it takes.
And for some reason, it always seems to happen that way to the people who really, really, really are not prepared for it, or not. Why is that? Why is it that happens? I don't understand. But anyway, yes, I think you're right.
So let that be a lesson to us all. Don't believe him when he says, oh, but if we do it this way, it's not going to happen. No.
PSA from Jennifer.
PSA, yes. This is not G-rated. But this series is not G-rated either.
Adult theme, this one too.
Yes.
People are more likely to watch it if we put adult theme. There was something, I don't think I was done.
Edith?
Yeah, it's alright. I'll come back around to it, I guess. So, got that. So, the whole time, there's also this thing going on the side with Isabel and the Dowager and
Clarkson.
Oh my goodness.
Is in the middle of it.
Oh my goodness. Why does he keep showing up?
Because he can't get enough Isabel.
What was it that you said about his wife? Did you text me something about his wife? Something that you wouldn't. Were you talking about him? Never mind. Maybe I'm dreaming. Don't worry about it.
Remember.
I don't
remember either. That was Sunday.
Okay, so the Dowager's stuff, everything's showing up missing. And I am much like her in that if anything shows up missing, even though I have no reason to think this, I'm always like, who stole it? And it's probably from my time working in the middle school, where anytime anything went missing, likely a 14-year-old child had wandered into my office and taken it off my desk.
Right.
And it's easier just to blame somebody else rather than admit that you're an aging woman who has dropped something in the cushions.
Right. So Isabel is calculating. I mean, she went and she hid and she waited for the Dowager to leave the house because she was behind the gatepost.
That was so funny to me. Like, she was just
Covered
popping out.
She's been trained by Scotland Yard now, I guess. I don't know. And then she feigns illness on the front porch so she can go sit down in the drawing room. And then she starts digging through everything. She's a handful.
She is.
So then when they go to confront her, of course, Granny's already taking care of everything. But my favorite part of that whole scene is how Clarkson keeps going, oh, he keeps looking up and rolling his eyes at Isabel. Oh my gosh. But he doesn't mind keeping her in check. I mean, he knows he's being dragged into this.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's going to get.
They both need to be kept in check because they both have their...
He doesn't want the job. He's too busy. I mean, seriously, this is the doctor for, like, the whole county, probably. And he hears tales of woe.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I'm thinking wives and daughters, more periods. So that's probably 100 years before or whatever. But
yeah.
But he's not the one to sit around and feel sorry to about, I lost a paper knife. Anyway, do you want to talk more about that or about...
It was kind of boring to me. I mean, like, basic, you know, it was fine. It was filler, though.
I loved how the Dowager mended it, though. Yeah. And how she called him in Peg, young Peg, and had him explain everything.
Yes. Well, I like what she had to say about being wrong and not being familiar with the sensation.
I like it.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good for each other.
They are. Okay. And then we also, before the party or anything, I guess a couple of nights before, Cora has a dinner with a charity or something.
Yes. At some crummy hotel.
What was it? She's some...
The Netherby Hotel.
What did she say about that? What was the word she used to describe it? I don't remember. Anyway, a place that she wasn't too thrilled to be going to was a place that was a really big deal for Anna and Bates to be going to for dinner.
Yes.
So, and they had their own little kind of pretty woman moment of, you know, not being served.
I didn't even think about that.
Yes, I was like, look at them. Now they get to, like, rub it in the guy's face. So,
He's such a jerk. That made her be.
It was terrible. Like, I mean, I guess what strikes me about all of this is how different, even though all these people are still working class, basically, you know, they're all working class people, but they see, you know, they perceived differences in their station, even though they're both working for other people. They're not, he's nothing special. I mean, maybe, does he make more money? He certainly doesn't have, like, close contact with, a lord like Bates does every single day.
Right.
He's got the man's ear, you know, all the time, and for a long time that was some power anyway to have. I mean, people liked to have that, you know, for 500 years before that. That was a special thing to have. But anyway,
That's so true. I mean, it's like they obviously could afford to pay them for the dinner.
Yeah.
But the maitre d' was just totally treating them like they weren't good enough to eat there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was followed around a store one time.
Did they profile you?
This is just off this, you know, but I'll tell it anyway. I was with some friends and we went into, and it was in the place where you work, not the actual place where you work, but in the general vicinity, the place where you work.
Okay.
And we were looking at evening gowns, like legitimately looking to buy some.
Right.
And it wasn't like there was anything in there that we could fold up and put in our purse and walk out with it.
Right.
And this girl was following us around, watching us like, oh, like, I'm going to take a fully beaded gown, fold it up, stick it in a little bag right here.
Absolutely.
Walk out the store with it.
Well, sometimes in the evening
Mm-hmm.
gown, well, not in the evening gown department, but sometimes it's
I know you
the
have
spoiled little white girls that like to do things like that for fun. So maybe you look too posh. Maybe you look like you were just bored. when you weren't going to buy anything, you were looking for a little action.
I don't think anything about me screams posh.
I don't see Elizabeth looking like she's looking for action either, but.
Are you kidding me?
Maybe she wasn't a very good judge of character.
She was like my age, and
she hadn't been in the job very long.
Probably not. Anyway.
Yeah, can't trust those teenagers. You know, those 14-year-olds who come and take things off your desk.
I was 21! Okay.
Okay, so they're at the dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
They decided to have a night out away from the shadows. As Bates
Make
put
new
it.
memories.
Yes. And so they're at the dinner table and they can't get away from it. Of course you can't get away from it, Anna. It's not...
It doesn't
go away. Right. It's fundamentally altered everything forever. But it's how we deal with it. So Cora overhears.
And now this news is making it back.
To the upstairs.
Which then means it
Mary.
is making it downstairs too. Because
Yes.
now,
Thomas
what's-her-face
knows.
and Thomas, and Thomas, just stop. Just stop. What is...
But at least we know now that Baxter doesn't want to, she says, I don't want to tell tales.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't think that at heart she's a really bad person. I think she feels beholden to him in some way.
But I think she's going to get fired because of it, because I think that because Lady Cora said, do not tell anybody, we know that means Lady Cora's going to find out that she did tell somebody. And I think that that's going to be the end of Baxter, which might usher O'Brien back in.
Is that going to happen?
I don't know. I don't know. Somebody sent me, it wasn't a spoiler, but it was, yeah. Don't send me spoilers. Don't tell me.
What are you people doing?
I don't know. I won't read it. I won't read it if you send it to me. Anyway, so I was very impressed with that whole storyline because now Bates knows. Now he's sort of trying to do something about it. He's comforting Anna. He's trying to help her get her mind off of it. But he's also working behind the scenes, assumedly.
Right.
And now Lady Cora knows, which means Mary knows, which means it's only, There was a moment where Bates is dressing Lord Grantham that I was sitting there going, is he going to tell him? But I bet Bates will wait until he has more information before he goes to Lord Grantham. He'll probably wait until he has evidence or... Well, can you have evidence?
Not now.
Not now. Well, maybe not even back then.
I don't even know what they did.
So...
But,
okay, so, Cora, were you at all creeped out when she loves exposing snobs. But I don't know if it was the lighting on her face or what, but she was, like, creepy. When she was, like, the Mater D.
She always, I'm sorry, but the way she holds her head, she does, like, this thing where she...
Right. It's like the lighting needed to come from down underneath her.
Something.
She was all...
It's the way she carries herself. And when she gets in, like, this... When she feels like she's
playing the Lady of the Manor.
She gets this self-important thing going on.
This
and
rescue white knight thing.
Yeah, so... Overall, did I miss anything? I think we hit all the high points.
I love that she did that, though, by the way.
Yeah.
I love that she doesn't mind standing up for people.
You've got the craziest notes I
Yeah, sign of a crazy mind. Okay, so Bates and Anna are at the dinner table, and Anna tells him she's not a victim, but he sees her that way. And he says, I see you as the woman I should have protected. I'm the failure here, not you. Oh. And that's what Lady Cora overhears.
Yep. Yep, it's going to come out. I don't know how or when, but it will.
Okay. So, after Isabel's crazy, she comes early to the Abbey to sit in the nursery.
They had their own little, like, support group.
Yes!
I thought it was kind of lame.
Well, but it was still very precious.
I don't like contrived moments. I don't like it. Well, it's probably the music, but I don't know.
I think the contrived part was Mary because
I was standing out in the snow.
She's not sentimental, is what she claims.
No.
Right.
But I wasn't cold because I knew he was about to propose. Okay.
So.
I guess it is sweet though. I sound like I'm turning into Mary. I'm not even bothered.
No. I'm not trying to justify it, but I'm almost wondering if maybe Mary feels more relaxed in a nursery because that's where George spends time. She doesn't feel like she has to put on a show, maybe. But Mary always feels like she has to put on a show, so I don't know.
I'm not digging the deep V of these dresses that they're wearing. All their dresses have like a deep V cut, or maybe it's just Mary's and she's been wearing this more often. No, because the Dowager had one on too, but because she's clearly cuts a different silhouette than Mary does. Hers looks different on her, but
I didn't notice. I'll look. The other thing, what I also found so ironic was that Isabel is the one who's trying to talk Tom into staying. Because Isabel clearly wants to go, and she's talked about it before, I think, in a couple episodes.
What, to America?
Well, just to leave Downton. And then she's the one that's trying to talk him into staying. And then when Mr. Ross arrives at Downton, she says, "See, Tom, things can happen at Downton that no one expected even a few years ago. Or no one imagined a few years ago." So,
yeah.
Anyway.
I hope he stays. Oh, and was it this episode when they were talking about if any of the, or was it last? If any of the other daughters would have him. Who said that to him? Was that Isabel? She says something about whatever, and
he said that in their social circle, if he stayed there, he would have to find another Earl's daughter who would take him, and nobody would because he was the chauffeur.
Yeah.
So Sybil was the only one who would have had anything to do with him.
I miss Sybil. I really do. I really miss her. Okay, well, next week we're going to see
Uncle Harold.
Are we going to see him? We are going to see Aunt Rosamond. For sure. For sure. And she'll know. She can sniff that stuff out.
Because she knows what happened.
She knows what happened.
Now, why hasn't she told Cora? Okay, that's another question. Because if she's the chaperone, and these girls, they got to stick together. They're thick as thieves. Why doesn't Granny know? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm surprised that just by virtue of there being servants in that house, I'm surprised that it hasn't already somehow made it up the telephone line all the way.
All over London, of course.
It probably has. We just don't know it yet.
Oh, and
somebody the driver dropped her off in front of that doctor's office, which is probably...
Taxi. He was a taxi driver.
Yeah, but still...
He didn't know
maybe he doesn't know who she
That's
is.
why she took the taxi and not the car.
Mm-hmm. Probably paid with cash.
No credit back then.
You can sign your name to it.
Okay. Here's a check. Thoroughly Modern Millie. Can I write you a check? They did have checks back then.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
If we're done.
Sure.
I think we're done.
Okay.
I feel like I'm coming down with a cold. That's not the
Oh,
surprise.
that's not the surprise. I don't.
No.
I don't want you to be sick, Elizabeth.
No. Hold on, we'll wait on the surprise for a minute. So we were talking about tea earlier, and Adagio Teas you can make your own blends, and this is a self-indulgent thing. But Jolene and I have done it before, we did it for our podcast because we're just silly. But since we actually drink tea on this podcast,
yes.
I think that we need to make a blend for the show.
Yes.
Yeah. So
love it.
We're gonna do that. So watch for it. It will be yummy. Jennifer will probably insist on it being a black tea.
Absolutely has to have caffeine. Or we could do it, we could do two. We could do one for the morning and one for the night.
I think we'll have the show tea, and then we can have our individual teas.
Okay.
The Jennifer and the Elizabeth blend. Okay. So, surprise, my mom got us something. She said...
She's so sweet.
I know she is.
She's adorable.
She said, I have a surprise for you and your friend Jennifer for the show.
Oh, that's so
She doesn't watch it or anything, and
Aww.
doesn't know anything about what's going on here, and never watched Downton Abbey or anything. But she picked this up for us, and I'm really proud of her because I checked and it is licensed. I'm glad she didn't buy it off some person on the street.
Right.
So, hold on just a second. It is right here. So let me find yours. We both have one. And sorry, they're like folded together. Okay, this is interesting. I know. There we go.
Oh my gosh!
She got us Downton Abbey t-shirts.
I love it.
And yeah, it's great.
Oh,
And it's
I
like,
love it.
I think it's season.
Does it have Sybil on it?
Sybil's on there. Matthew's on there. I think it must be season 1. Season 1. I think it is season 1 because I think I see the little, the maid that went off to be a secretary.
Oh, Gwen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyway, so we have our shirts now.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm excited. So we'll have to like wear them sometime, or maybe if we, volunteer for anything. Maybe
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I need to check on that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's got matching t-shirts.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Thanks, Mom.
I love it.
All right. So looking forward to next week.
Yes. Gonna have more to come. Hopefully more justice in our future.
Justice. Who was talking about justice? Oh, Isabel. Was it Isabel talking about justice?
I don't know.
Anyway.
But I'm just I'm worried every episode that goes by, this is not dealt with. I'm worried about the other women that he's raping while we're waiting for him to be dealt with. So.
Yeah, he looks like.
Anna may not be losing sleep over that, but I'm losing sleep over it. So, we're coming for you, Green.
Alright.
Okay?
Alright. We will see you next week. Follow us on Twitter.
We're live tweeting on Sunday nights when Downton Abbey airs in the United States.
Yep. And what else do they need to do? You need to like us on Facebook.
Yes.
And you need to share it with your friends.
Yes.
And whatever else you can.
And visit our hub,
Yeah.
which is elizabethmichelle.com/PSP.
Yeah, with a hyphen in between the Elizabeth and Michelle. Okay. Yep. All right. We will see you next week.
Bye, thanks.
Bye.